Welcome, fellow history enthusiasts and lovers of ancient Rome. Today, we're diving into the thrilling and often misunderstood world of Roman gladiators. These warriors weren't just muscle-bound brutes, they were the superstars of their time, with lives as complex and fascinating as any modern-day celebrity. So, let's start the video, tighten your sandals, and adjust your tunic as we embark on this journey through the Colosseum and beyond. Gladiators were the superstars of ancient Rome. In ancient Rome, gladiators weren't just the guys fighting for their lives in the arena. They were the rock stars of their time. Imagine the paparazzi of ancient times, the tabloid press of the gladiatorial world, scrawling graffiti on walls in praise of their favorite fighters. Yes, graffiti. In Pompeii, archaeologists have uncovered scribbles of admiration for gladiators, with lines like, "He catches all the girls in his net." Gladiators enjoyed massive fan followings, and much like modern athletes, they were often endorsed by wealthy patrons who saw them as symbols of strength and bravery. Some gladiators even became so famous that they were recognized in the streets and cheered on by fans. These men could become as wealthy and influential as some politicians. Imagine your favorite football player today, but with swords and shields. Now that's star power. 2. Not all gladiators were slaves. While we typically think of gladiators as slaves or prisoners of war forced into combat, the reality was far more complex and even voluntary at times. In fact, many gladiators were free men who had chosen to fight in the arena for the promise of fame, wealth, or to pay off debts. Known as octorati, these volunteers were recruited by agents and offered contracts for the chance to prove themselves in the arena. It was akin to signing up for a high-risk job with the chance to gain fortune and a form of immortality. Interestingly, some of these voluntary gladiators came from wealthy or noble families, something that would seem scandalous to the more traditional Roman elite. Imagine a senator's son putting on a helmet and armor, opting to fight in front of thousands of spectators. This didn't sit well with many Romans, and it often resulted in public scorn. But the glory of victory was undeniable. For many, it was a gamble they were willing to take. 3rd, gladiatorial combat wasn't always to the death. Let's clear up a major misconception. Not all gladiatorial matches were fights to the death. Sure, the image of bloodthirsty gladiators fighting until one drops might make for exciting movies. But in reality, many battles were more akin to a well-choreographed sporting event. Gladiators fought according to strict rules and under the supervision of referees known as summa rudis, who made sure the fight followed proper protocol. The purpose of these matches was more about showcasing skill and stamina, not necessarily killing the opponent. That being said, serious injuries were still common and death could occasionally happen. But the arena's primary goal was entertainment. When a gladiator fell in battle, the crowd would decide his fate, urging mercy or demanding his execution. The ultimate decision lay with the editor, but many fighters survived and lived to fight another day, making a career out of their thrilling performances. 4. They had a vegetarian diet. Now, before you imagine a gladiator stuffing his face with turkey legs and protein shakes, let's set the record straight. Most gladiators were vegetarians. Yes, you read that right. Gladiators were fed a diet consisting primarily of barley, beans, and oats. It's not the beefy steak you might expect for such fierce warriors. This high-carbohydrate diet helped build muscle mass, providing the energy needed for long, grueling training sessions and combat. And no, this wasn't some sad, tasteless mush. They ate it in substantial quantities, making sure their bodies could withstand the demands of brutal training. When you think about it, it's kind of like how modern athletes might focus on complex carbs for endurance. This diet wasn't just about fueling the fight. It was about creating strong, durable fighters, capable of withstanding punishing training and dangerous battles in the arena. 5th, gladiators had their own medical team, If you thought ancient Roman medicine was all leeches and potions, think again. Gladiators had access to some of the best medical care available at the time. These fighters didn't just get patched up with a bandage and sent back out. They had full medical teams dedicated to their well-being. Doctors like Galen, one of the most famous physicians of ancient Rome, treated gladiators and studied their injuries to advance medical knowledge. Galen was a brilliant physician, and many of his observations about fractures, surgeries, and wounds were learned directly from gladiator patients. Gladiator schools called ludi had their own medical facilities equipped with doctors and surgeons who could treat fractures, deep cuts, and other injuries sustained during the intense training and fights. Gladiators, who were valuable to their sponsors, had to remain in top physical condition, so their recovery was a priority. Medical care was critical to ensure that gladiators were fit enough to continue fighting and drawing in the crowds. 6. Women fought in the arena. Here's a shocking piece of trivia. Gladiatorial combat wasn't just a man's world. Women also fought in the arena. While the idea of female gladiators might sound strange, it was actually a thing, albeit rare. These women were often seen as an oddity or novelty, and their battles were treated as spectacle, designed to thrill the crowd with their daring. The most famous account of female gladiators comes from Emperor Domitian's reign, when he staged a special event showcasing women gladiators. Though their numbers were small compared to their male counterparts, these women fought bravely, often for the same reasons as their male colleagues: fame, fortune, or simply because they had no other choice. These women weren't simply dressing up for fun. They trained just like the men and fought with skill and ferocity. The idea of a woman picking up a sword and stepping into the arena was a bold, radical notion, challenging the traditional gender norms of ancient Rome. 7. The Colosseum was a marvel of engineering. We all know the Colosseum as the grand amphitheater where gladiators fought. But did you know that it was one of the most impressive engineering feats of the ancient world? This giant arena could hold an astonishing 50,000 spectators, almost the size of a modern-day sports stadium. What's even more incredible is the way the Colosseum was designed for maximum entertainment. It had a complex system of trapdoors, ramps, and elevators to bring gladiators and animals into the arena quickly, ensuring smooth transitions between different stages of the spectacle. At times, the arena was flooded to simulate naval battles, known as naumachia, where real ships would engage in mock warfare. Imagine watching a naval battle inside an arena. The Colosseum was a truly versatile venue, offering a range of spectacles, from gladiatorial combat to animal hunts, and even public executions. 8. Gladiators had a unique social status. Despite their popularity, gladiators were considered infames, a legal term that meant they were socially dishonorable. They couldn't hold public office, testify in court, or marry into respectable families. If a gladiator was particularly skilled, he could amass a following and become a sort of local celebrity. Some even made a good amount of money, allowing them to live comfortably or retire early. In fact, when a gladiator earned his rudies, it was a significant achievement, often accompanied by public recognition and sometimes even an honorary title. But let's be honest, even in ancient Rome, who wouldn't want to see a celebrity gladiator, someone who could fight like a warrior, but also live life like a king? And that's a wrap on today's deep dive into the fascinating world of Roman gladiators. If you enjoyed these mind-blowing videos, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more epic history content. See you in the next battle. Until then, stay fierce.